I found the world's cheapest full fairing motorcycle at Walmart, and it actually looked good. Dual front rotors, a stainless steel exhaust. The thing even has fuel injection, and it looks so much like the cheapest Honda, but it comes in at just half the price. Now, I have been burned by these cheap motorcycles before, but I also have found some gems. So again, curiosity got the best of me, and I hit buy now. So what do you get when you buy a crotch rocket from Walmart? Well, a really big black tarp of a box. X-Pro Roadster 250 EFI. Let's see if this one's actually a 250, because a lot of the other X-Pros aren't. Also, Roadster is a weird name for a crotch rocket. My last 250 said 223 right on the box. And this one only says 250, so that is a great start. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous about this one because no matter how janky it looks, I'm gonna have to drive it hard to really show you guys what it can do. And it might be kind of freaky. All right, first look here. Let's see. Can't see a whole lot, although I will say it's wrapped in a blanket. Keys are already in the ignition, and this is the biggest steel frame I've ever gotten in a box, which means this is probably going to be the biggest bike in the collection. All right, let's see her. This is when I started to get really excited. This thing actually looks pretty sick. We've got a pretty dang wide 17 in the rear. Actually feels like a bit of soft rubber. It's not super hard. The front feels the same. Also a 17, just a bit smaller. The wheel and tire, both smaller. Looks like we have a stainless steel muffler and exhaust. The nerves have turned into excitement. Doesn't look that bad. I've never seen a video of this bike online. I've never even seen good pictures of it. So I ripped this cage off as fast as possible because this is going to be our true first look. So I've never received anything in a shipping blanket before. That hardware looks like it might need to be reused. Let's keep that. So let's see what it's protecting so cautiously. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. Oh man, this is gonna be just so bad if it's bad, but so much fun if it's good. It's worth the risk. And dang. Oh, it's actually a good looking fairing. It's definitely pretty cheap plastic. They did all these precautions, and this is still rubbed completely through and completely cracked. I did have a tail light ship broken on one of my bikes. They replaced it for free. And when I pulled the handlebars off the cheapest four-wheeler, they also replaced that for free. So I'm sure they'll probably send me a new fairing. So at least there's that. It'd still be nice if it was mint, brand new bike, you know? Wow, this thing came very set up. And that's actually metal. It looks a bit more comfortable than I thought it would. I'm not gonna lie. This is an air-cooled motorcycle, and it is just so funny how they copied the exact shape and size as if this thing had a radiator. But there's a nice hole right here going towards the engine, so that's something. Also, I really wasn't expecting to have dual rotor brakes on the front. With these Walmart videos, I've been reading your guys' comments. Someone said that he had an X-Pro he just bought and one of the bolts came loose holding the brake in, stopped the front wheel, went over the bars, broke some bones, and I was like, I really don't want to do that, especially on the street. For some reason, falling on dirt doesn't scare me. I've ridden dirt bikes my whole life, but this is like my first street bike ever. And I think it's going to be a short setup. I think we just have to put on the handlebars, do an oil change, and we're done. My interest in all kinds of motorcycles is only getting deeper and deeper, so there will be more videos like this one. If you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed. This thing does not look bad, honestly. Like, adjustable shift linkage. We have a decent looking, pretty strong looking suspension linkage. And this one actually is rated for 2 people. The Dual Sports straight up said 1 person riding only, even though they have passenger pegs. The brakes are way beefier than the Dual Sports, which was the main thing I was concerned about when I bought this bike. In our goodie box, I found a manual that did confirm that this bike is a proper 250cc motorcycle. And for some reason, right around this time, I felt like I needed to justify my ever-growing motorcycle collection. I am seriously just obsessed with this stuff. This is what this is all about. It's kind of a problem, but the YouTube channel justifies my problem, so I don't really have a problem. Is that how having a problem works? Anyways, I'm probably fine. I'll show a picture of my garage to my therapist and we'll see what's up. This has got to be our mirrors. Yep. And a small toolkit with your normal kind of culprits in there. So the manual does say to do an oil change before starting, which is the way I've been doing it recently. I really think the stuff that's in these motors is like not oil. Maybe it's like can't be anything flammable when it's on the boat. I don't know, but you got to change the oil on these things before anything else. The last steps of setup were put 2 bolts in each handlebar, set up the battery, and remove it from the bottom of the crate. Easier said than done. Next time. Well, it fell on the side with the good fairings. I knew that was gonna happen. I should have taken the bottom off the dollies. Oh man. First crash, hasn't even done the oil change yet. Hey, doesn't look too bad. We literally broke the clutch and haven't it taken out the packaging yet. Not my finest moment, but everything seemed to be totally fine. Flipped the key on, lights turned on. Next, I wanted to sit on this thing and see what the suspension and the seating setup felt like. Let's see. Front feels soft, but the rebound's okay. The rear feels pretty bouncy. Overall, the bike is kind of comfortable. Next, I threw on the windshield and the mirrors, did an oil change, and I was happy to see that the oil drain plug actually gets around the exhaust and the frame for a clean exit. Believe it or not, a lot of these cheap motorcycles don't actually do this. The only thing that's left to do now is go get some gasoline and hit the streets. This came with a magnetic plug, and we have a huge ball on the end of that. The user manual says do your first oil change after 300 miles. I think I'm gonna do it after the first ride and check in on that plug. I've been driving a lot recently. For example, I just drove all the way to Utah to do this. And filling up multiple tanks a day got me even more excited about the biggest sponsor of this channel, Upside. Upside is a free app that shows you savings in your area. All you need to do is pay for your gas like you normally would and then claim the offer within the app. And the best part is this price that you see displayed is not the price you end up paying. Because with Upside, you get real cash back. No gimmicks, just money to your account. And it's not just gas stations, it's also grocery stores and restaurants. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year. So to see how much you could earn, download Upside for free using my link in the description and use code Edwin to get an extra 25 cents cash back per gallon on your first tank of gas with Upside. Or scan the QR code right here to claim this offer. Upside is currently the biggest sponsor of the channel and the main reason why I get to make videos like this. So show them some love, save some money, use code Edwin, and let's get back to the garage to see how this thing sounds. Okay, she took nearly 4 gallons of gas. On the dash, we see E on the tank. Hopefully that changes. Fuel pump's a priming. Okay. Okay, started right up. Fuel gauge has 2 dots on it now. It doesn't sound as bad as the other bikes. This is the only riding gear I have. This is a GP suit we got when we did Jay Leno's garage many years ago. I know they're supposed to be tight, but I might have grown a little bit since then.
Edwin and Ethan, correct?
I set out to climb this beautiful curvy road that goes to the top of the local ski resort with my friend James on his adventure bike. And this ride was fantastic, but unfortunately, the microphone in my helmet was not working correctly, so I'll show the footage and do some voiceovers explaining what I was saying in the moment. The first thing I realized when I pulled out onto the road with this thing is that it did not have a lot of power, and the throw on the throttle was massive. From 0 to 100%, you can see my elbow just going all the way down and my wrist folding over completely. I do wish that this throw was a little bit shorter. But the shifts were smooth, the clutch felt great, and the bike sounded pretty dang good. And you can see here that the bike is super bouncy when you hit a pothole that was crossing a railroad track. But honestly, the suspension was really dialed for normal driving. Like, it didn't dive too much when I hit the front brake very hard, and it felt really cozy and really confident on the street.
It feels great, man. Yeah. I think it's a different manufacturer than the dirt bikes because it feels so much better.
I bet it's just the gearing. I mean, the gearing alone could just change it, you know?
Yeah, and it is fuel injected, so there's that, but...
Okay, yep, that always helps too.
Yeah.
Especially because, I mean, like, different carburation is so weird.
Yeah.
Fuel injection could really change that.
Oh, yeah.
And with the warm-up cruise out of the way, we are at the base of this mountain road, and it's time to open up the throttle and see if this bike has what it takes to make it to the top. And going full throttle, full tuck, uphill, I saw 60 on the dash. And realistically, that ended up being about 55 miles an hour. And this was a power limitation. Didn't even get into 6th gear. I really think that 6th gear is unusable on this bike, even downhill. But man, the thing is so much fun. It's just lacking that power. And a bike like this, on a road like this, might just be my new favorite thing ever.
How fast were we actually going?
55?
55?
Yeah, about.
Okay, cool. Because this said 60, and I was like, I am not going 60.
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, there
cool.
was, like those big fast straightaways. Yeah, you were up there.
That was full throttle, third gear, but
You're going uphill. I mean,
yeah.
Uphill, but some of it's steep.
Yeah, it feels safer than I thought it would.
It probably feels safer than the dirt bikes.
Way safer.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah. I think I'm comparing this to the dirt bike, but I really think they're made at a different factory.
Yeah.
Like, do you see I have like dual front rotors?
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but yeah.
Yeah, this thing's $2,000. Like, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, shoot. It feels pretty safe. I mean, obviously no kind of traction control, nothing like that. It will let you lock up like quite easily on the rear.
Yeah, I bet.
But the engine braking's pretty solid, so I've mainly just been engine braking except for the steep corners.
Right.
I haven't had the confidence to hit those at any kind of speed yet.
We rode all the way up to the local favorite turnout, got some shots of the bikes, and I was realizing that the fuel injection was keeping up great with the elevation gain. I didn't notice any bogging, any power loss, anything like that, which is fantastic for an inexpensive motorcycle. We kept climbing, got to the snow line, and thought as long as there's no ice on the road, we would keep going. And sure enough, we made it. And at the top, I tried to do a few wheelies. It's definitely pretty underpowered, but hey, it got the front wheel up, so I'm sure if I was more skilled, I could actually ride one out on this thing. James tried it out, driving down the hill, and that's when I realized just how small that rear tire actually looks after I was following him for a while on what I would consider a normal size tire for a full-sized street bike. But if you don't have enough power to break traction, you don't need a bigger tire. That's just unnecessary weight.
This thing sounds great.
It's a good sounding motor.
Oh yeah.
This thing sounds like it's running out of power.
Yeah, it's pretty weak, huh?
It's like right when it should be hitting the power band, it's already gone.
Yeah. You like feel it build, and then it falls off.
Falls off a cliff.
It works though.
It does work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to review. I've never ridden a bike like this, so I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you. Okay, I guess I have ridden a Hayabusa.
Okay. Well, that's.
This is the exact opposite.
We had a beautiful ride home, made it back to the garage safe and sound so that I could give you guys my final thoughts. That was a whole lot of fun. I've always loved that road, always wanted to do it on a motorcycle. Finally made that happen. I've actually done the whole thing on a one wheel before, never a motorcycle. The suspension feels pretty good. It doesn't dive that hard when you brake really hard. It feels pretty good in the corners. I mean, the tires don't feel like the safest, most stickiest thing in the whole world, but they also don't feel slippery, and I think they'll last quite a while. The clutch feels really good. I mean, it's just a cable clutch, but feels great, honestly. The blinker switch is super easy. You kind of push it in at any angle and it goes away. This says 27 miles and we started about 2 from the top here on the gas. I don't know if it actually goes all the way up because it was about to overflow. But on James' bike, he said we were doing about 55 when this said we were doing about 60. So I don't think we went quite that far and I don't think we were going quite that fast. It is totally gutless, but totally rideable and seemingly quite safe. I'll have to do some more miles on it before the next video, before I start modifying this thing. But if you want to see this thing modified, make sure you subscribe because it is going to get wild. And I'm sure that you've seen in the background here, there's some stuff I haven't got around to making videos on yet. So definitely subscribe to see all that happen. And say what you want about these cheap Chinese bikes, but I emailed them that this came damaged and they sent a replacement immediately. Every time I've had a problem with any of the X Pro bikes, I've gotten an immediate part for free, no questions asked, which is pretty dang cool. Like they just confirm that you actually bought a bike and they just send it to you. Well, speaking of easy parts, I think we're going to need another one because
I just realized I only have one bright. So something is messed up in the wiring because LEDs don't really burn out, but let's see if I use the bright switch. Nope, that's broken.
They seriously shipped this new fairing to me in like 3 days. It came in perfect condition. It is a bummer about the headlight. That doesn't super increase my confidence in this bike after only 25 miles of riding, but hey, if they fix it for free, I'm pretty much cool with that. Make sure you subscribe because the future upgrades on this bike are going to be totally wild. I can't wait to share it with you guys. See you next week.